A Spanish philosopher once said, "Those who cannot remember their history are bound to repeat it." This is because history taught us that we learned nothing from history. But if we pay attention to history, Winston Churchill taught us that the further backward we look, the further forward we're likely to see. It was at the time in history that the partymen saw the birth of a male child as the only greatest blessing that could come from the womb of a woman. A time the partymen saw the coming of a male child into a family as the birth of the entire community. It was such a historic time that the family of Kwallu in Ligad, a strategic village in Qua'anpan local government of Plateau State, welcomed a bouncing baby boy. They named him Kyalle. Young Kyalle grew up under proper parenting, full of discipline, loyalty, hard work, and dedication to duties, responsibilities, and obligations. While growing up, Kyalle attended TRCM primary school team, Qua'anpan local government of Plateau State. At a young age, he displayed leadership qualities that all his peers, age-mates, seniors, teachers, and the elderly clearly knew that young Kyalle was an unquenchable morning star and a child that could not be dismissed as a passing cloud. Young Kyalle was later to be baptized as Isaac. He attended Government Technical College Bukuru, Plateau State Polytechnic Barkinladi, Federal Polytechnic Bauchi, National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies Kuru. Isaac Kwallu has in stock a number of qualifications spanning from policy, strategy, and leadership, which will later qualify him as a prolific policymaker, a strategist, a diplomat, a servant leader, and a philanthropist. Kwallu had his National Youth Service Corps at Nemako Nigeria Limited, Sokoto State. He had worked as engineer system operator at Power Holding Company of Nigeria from the year 2004 to 2017. Engineer at Plateau Radio Television Corporation, PRTV, from 2002 to 2004. Mobile engineer controlling the whole of Nasarawa and Plateau State at Sagem Telecom Nigeria Limited from 2002 to 2003. Supervisory Councillor for Works, Qua'anpan Local Government Council from the year 2012 to 2014. Fate has indeed placed this blessed child, whose name will be printed and casted on stones and marbles, as his name will later be a leading and a household name in Qua'anpan, Plateau State, and beyond. He made his debut in politics at the time his people indeed needed the service of a sacrificial servant leader who could rescue the local government from the dustbin of oblivion and deep-rooted incompetency masterminded by a long-time failure of leadership. Of course, before this call to rescue the local government, he had tried other positions, especially the seat of the House of Reps representing Mekang, Shandam, Qua'anpan Federal Constituency, an aspiration which was later divinely shifted for a later death by history and destiny. His campaign for the seat of the local government council chairman met elite resistance, pessimistic and acidic propaganda, and pull him down syndrome, PhD. However, his resilience, persistency, combined with a fortress of loyal foot soldiers under the umbrella of a divine mandate, costumed under the canopy of oneness, togetherness, and doggedness, saw them throughout the storms and took him to the dizzy heights of the throne of Qua'anpan Local Government Council. Of course, his victory was so loud that all talking heads, columnists, pessimists, and antagonists felt a deep sense of shame down their spines and veins. It was later compounded with the communal jubilation, celebrations, and praise singings that followed his victory. When he assumed the chairmanship throne, cries and yearnings of the poor was not music to his ears. Rather, it sent a deep concern down his veins. So he traversed the length and breadth of the local government, where he saw a local government way behind other local governments in Plateau State. Such a sad narrative he saw. He saw a local government operating under analog canopy, a local government that was turned into a kidnapping den and a bastion of underdevelopment. To begin delivering his campaign promises, he first asked the political, philosophical question: oh, of what use is politics to man? As the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle would say, all men are by nature political animals. And he quickly recalled the Franz Fanonian dictum that says each generation must out of relative obscurity discover its mission, fulfill it or betray it. Kwallu was out to fulfill it, of course not to betray his people for whatever reason under the sun. He did not believe his people should live on daily log. He went hunting for his people's survival. Log for him was for the foolish, survival for the fittest. So he reclaimed the local government from the den of armed kidnappers and armchair militia. This was made possible through a 21st century security strategy of networking between all security personnel, including the creation of a dogged vigilante network. Then he took Qua'anpan and placed it on the digital space with his caption of QP to the wall, by making Qua'anpan the first local government to have a technological hub in Nigeria out of Nigeria's 774 local governments. He restored sanity to the local government health sector and provided a reliable and trusted cure center for snakebite. He revamped the local government structures and facility. His achievements could be felt even on the lips of passerbys and the streets of the local government.
Isaac Kyalle Kwallu agurum lungana manni tun an lala yegala kanmob wulga kamo kadin kai pertaining CDA, that's Chim Development Association, waji join politics nge fara contest and reps wawul macin munafurci da mu duk da haka ya tomba lankamu gutun waji put town house still ba arobo fe nigan ba ya tomba samba ban lankamu gutun waji gitan chairman nan sa mun nan kilin wala fe nan kilin wal talakoki mu mun dani ka chairman ne va change bi yit dung sha fe talakoki mu kabi an dung ana lebra amman amfani Isaac as chairman mun Qua'anpan har waji gita dung har wakta mu shiyang nin daga chairman gaskiya mu wadna mu yadda sura Urushalima mu wadna mu ga Yesu mun gurum Qua'anpan gabaki daya. In fact mun gurum Southern Zone mu wadna mu ga Isaac ba wayni da ba kuma yadda mu shang nin mu karata ki ingin man yanda urea bi mun kam signar mare mu karaka mu Isaac bilala ladbabe ha mun taligida cinin da ba talimu gomo yadda iya nuhu akad yadda mu shang nin chairman ne murga bukin penny as Senate President.
In whose favor history and posterity should stand should be the question that every mortal must ask. His achievements were too numerous to mention. Amidst his tenure, his performances and track records got him the award of the best local government chairman on the plateau. This award is only but one amongst the inexhaustible list of his awards. As every dream attracts flies, this son of the soil, despite being crowned as Danmasening Qua'anpan, a title which is visible to the blind, audible to the deaf, painted on walls, signifying that the name now Chief Honorable Dr. Isaac Kyalle Kwallu was not a local government name that is synonymous with performance, sacrifice, selflessness, and of course, patriotism for the local government.
First and foremost, I want to appreciate and thank the organizers of the Plateau Man of the Year, and again to thank Plateau people to have found me worthy of this prestigious award. I found this award as a way of spurring me to do more, as a way of encouraging me some of the things that I probably must have not been doing in the past. This kind of recognition is a way of saying, Isaac, we need you to do more. I asked myself, what have I done to deserve this? And most times I look back and I said, when I was local government chairman, and before I became local government chairman, I have done a lot of selfless service to my community, to the younger generation. I know the kind of impact I've tried as much as possible to impact on them. And secondly, when I had the opportunity to be the executive chairman of the local government, I felt it was an opportunity for me to be able to use government resources to better the lives of the people. And I think that is governance. As an individual, I could have probably not do the much that I could do with public resources. When we got into office, the first thing we could do was to identify the needs of the people of Qua'anpan local government, and majorly we discovered that Qua'anpan local government did not have power supply, so we're not connected to the national grid. And we made effort to make sure that Qua'anpan was connected to the national grid. We streamed all the 33 kV line within Qua'anpan local government, and little did we know that there was a lot of problems that lingered between Shandam and Qua'anpan. So within the Qua'anpan network, the 33 kV line, the 11 kV line, the 450 kV line are intact, and we're able to drop about 4 transformers within that community. Secondly, we also understood that the people of Qua'anpan were in their need of encouragement when it comes to education. And we felt the best way is to encourage the young people to go to school, and sometimes as little as 5,000 naira to pay for JAM registration, some of them could not afford it. So we undertook an operation, payment of JAM, free JAM registration, which we did for the people, for the young people of Qua'anpan. And again, we also discovered that we needed to further encourage those in tertiary institutions and at all levels. And we initiated a scholarship program that catered across master's degrees, PhDs, undergraduate, diploma, and whatever, NC. So we're able to harness these Qua'anpan individuals that are doing very well, and we encourage them by paying them some stipends to be able to encourage them to be in school. And another thing we tried to do at that time was that within the 3-year term that we had in office, we gave ourselves a mandate and a target that in as much as the South, the Northerners are sending their sons and daughters overseas for further studies. So by the time they return back in 5 to 10 years' time, they will come and our people will not be able to compete with them in job opportunities. So we felt we needed to take that kind of opportunity to get our sons and daughters out of the country to go and study specialized skills and specialized programs. So we set the target to sponsor 10 sons and daughters to Europe to study. And we were able to get a consultant from Germany to come down and put our young people through. We had a 1-week entrepreneurship and of course foreign scholarship grant application studies where we was able to put them through. And at the end of the day, at the time that we were to pick up this, that was when we had the challenge in office. And we did a lot in primary education with partner with Love Samaritan Love Foundation. Is an NGO where we paid counterpart funding to supply school materials to all the primary schools in Qua'anpan local government. We did that. And a lot of other things with the intervention, especially the relevant technology. Looking at the situation in this country where young people graduate without jobs, so we felt the only thing we need to do is to boost the technological awareness or advancement in education. So we're able to partner with the relevant technology board in the state, and we revive the grounded relevant technology in the market, where we declared a 3-year free education at that level. So if you go to that school, you will see that we have done a lot in that aspect. In fact, we couldn't even accommodate all the number of pupils that applied for that admission. So in terms of medical care, we've done a lot. We partner with National Youth Service Corps to be posting corporate doctors to Qua'anpan. At the time we were in office, we had about 2 doctors and other medical students or corpers that were sent to Qua'anpan local government to help boost the medical sector where we had challenges. Like the cottage hospital in Qua'anpan, when we got there, we discovered that we have only one recognized or qualified doctor in that secondary tier medical facility, and he's the only doctor, the only consultant, and everything. So when we brought in additional hands, at least the people had hope now that they can go to that hospital and access medical care from a qualified doctor. The Lardan Comprehensive Medical Center had been there for years. Since inception, there has never been a doctor that was posted there. So we had coppers that were posted to that place to take to look at the medical challenges of our people. And again, we also equipped the secondary tier medical facility in Cottage, where ultrasound machines were purchased, the X-ray machines, and a lot of other equipment that were equipped. The mortuary that was never in existence in Qua'anpan, we had to work in collaboration with the health management board to be able to revive that the mortuary in the cottage hospital. We undertook a free medical outreach where over 700 people had successful surgeries and over 6,000 people had medical challenges that were attended to. So, and again, for the past how many years that I grew up to know that our people have been dying of snake bites. So we felt what was the thing for us to do. When somebody is bitten by a snake in Qua'anpan, they have to take him to Jos or take him to Zamko. So the best thing for us to do was to save the lives of the people of Qua'anpan local government. To look through the box and see how do we create or establish a snake treatment center. So we had to harness some of the staff of the local government, send them for training, and we sent them to train. When they came back, we set up a snake treatment center. Today, we gave even discount. The treatment of medical of snake bite, one vial is about 40 to 50,000 naira. But we discounted it to 30,000 naira. And so far so good, by the grace of God, we've been able to save the lives of the people of Qua'anpan local government at that level. So there are a lot of things we've done in terms of agriculture, in terms of youth empowerment. There are a lot of things we've done at that level. That is the reason why people had done their research. Plateau people have listened. And again, there's this slogan that we had in government then, Qua'anpan to the world. We want to expose Qua'anpan. In those days when when people tell you they are from Qua'anpan, nobody gets to know where is Qua'anpan. But today, as at the time before we left office, we could discover that Qua'anpan was on the lips of everybody. And the slogan QP to the world, that's why we wanted to portray Qua'anpan. We have the only innovation hub in the whole of this country. Qua'anpan Innovation Hub. Out of the 774 local government, no local government as of today has launched that innovation hub to a success. So Qua'anpan was the only one. I wanted to use the ICT to help our people in the grassroots to be able to expose them to some grants that they can always access, like the African Development Bank, the Nisal Loan Bank, what have you, a lot of things. Some of them that will go and register for WAEC or JAM, they have to travel to Shandam, or even all this paramilitary and what have you application, they have to travel out of Qua'anpan. But with that innovation hub, all these things have been solved. So there are a lot of things that we could have achieved with the innovation hub. That was the target. So I think Plateau people have been watching this, see our programs, and I think that was what necessitated Plateau people to have voted for us as the outstanding political personality on the Plateau. I want to tell Plateau people that I'm grateful, I'm humble, and I'm honored for this share of love by voting me as the outstanding political personality on the Plateau. It goes to show that there is hope. It goes to show that there's light at the end of the tunnel. It goes to show that injustice can never triumph over justice. And I think that is the basis for the Plateau people to have done what they have done. Meaning that if you serve them selflessly and diligently, the Plateau people will never forget you. So the Plateau people are aware of good governance. And I assure you that by the grace of God, in 2023, Plateau people are not going to go for people that will throw money at them, but they will go for people that have identified themselves, have distinguished themselves in the service of the common man. So I want to thank Plateau people that we have not gotten to it yet. And that's why I dedicated that award to the Plateau person of good conscience. That is what I've dedicated the award to. I want to thank them so much. And by the grace of God, we will move Plateau State to the highest of pedestal that nobody would ever imagine.
Yet few elements started nursing a civilian coup against this son of the soil. This hatred was later heated and overblown as it got support from elites and developed into a strong elite conspiracy that led to his unjustifiable removal from office. The airwaves and the entire nooks and cranny of the local government received the news of his removal with a cold fever of logic. Indeed, the local government was clothed with a blanket of shock. Silence mode was later activated on the local government. The young and old all gathered in unison to condemn the maltreatment of their illustrious son, who grew from son of Kwallu to son of Qua'anpan local government. The anger was so loud that even domestic animals could decipher that all was not well with the land. As ancestors and gods sit to deliberate over the affairs of men, it will later be affirmed that the destiny of a man can only be interrupted or delayed, but can never be denied. It will later be confirmed as son of the soil will bounce back and kicking as never before. Though the throne has been unjustly snatched, but the tales and narratives of his good leadership still being felt, as he has just been awarded by Plateau Man of the Year Award 2020 as Plateau State Most Outstanding Political Personality of the Year 2020, an award that has been described as well deserved by all and sundry. Indeed, never interrupt your enemies when they converge at the dinner table of hatred, making erroneous mistakes. IKK, the bulldozer. IKK, the caterpillar. Congratulations on your well-deserved award as Plateau State Most Outstanding Political Personality of the Year 2020. Jan, the uncomfortable truth.